Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Redline Collectibles. Today's short opening is some red lines that appeared, and when I say that, they really did. Sometimes I'll get the tracking number, sometimes I don't. To just kind of see the progress of the box. But in this particular case, it came to my surprise, and those are some of the funnest box openings ever, because you sort of get a whiff of what this particular consigner, has, at a hand's reach, so to speak. And now it's your turn to really, razzle dazzle your Redline collection with cars that really catch your attention. You're like watching some auctions, and all of a sudden a purple coupe comes up that you've never seen that shine or shimmy before. And when I often say this, but checking the boxes, when the person opens this gem, I often say that sunglasses are required. I do not take any responsibility for damaged retinas. Believe me, I do have some little bit of glaucoma that's befallen me in my age, but luckily my wife encouraged me to have my eyes looked at, and I'm so glad that she did, because I can put my peepers on something green, like a nitty-gritty kitty that just talks about cleanliness all the way through. I love that dark interior. What's cool about the nitty-gritty kitty is the stripes being original and the roundels intact, man. Beautiful Hong Kong shoes. Those are bearing wheels on both sides. I've had some nitty-gritty kitties that sometimes surprise me with exactly how they, the wheels. And I think that's part of the era, the red lines that, we're coming to the end of a certain run, maybe a certain period of time, and that, you have an opportunity to grab. Well, I'm looking for any type of, on this particular finish on this Haas, if there was any indication of toning, and that's typically I see something right in here, so I'm going to investigate that closer before I say anything about the exact nature of the finish of this particular Boss Haas. And it looks like almost like a Grokwa, guys. It's really interesting color phenomena that's going on, and maybe some trickery with these LED lights on top of my viewing area, and maybe yours too, because I see a transition of color there, perhaps, that I don't know. Again, here's another kitty with white interior. So as I mentioned, the brown interior, the white interior, love that with red. How about you? Are you an NGK collector? You come to the right video. Hey, join us every Tuesday on the Facebook site called Studio-Redline, because I conduct weekly auctions there starting at 6 p.m. Central, typically, at Facebook site called Studio-Redline. And there you have an opportunity to, snag colors that maybe you haven't got, or maybe there's some holes in your custom Corvette lineup that it's time to, razzle dazzle it with a little bit of antifreeze that perhaps you don't have in this level of cleanliness. Now, the toning, the earlies, obviously, the runs from out of the factory, they're really these are the heavyweights. These are the guys who've been there the longest, right, through this whole era. And the Harry Bradley and his team building the magic in Hawthorne, California. It never gets old, does it? Are you kidding? It's just so wonderful to have such beautiful cars to look at. Here's another Grokwa, guys. So this Boss Haas is not as subtle. This is more subtle when you have it in hand. A light green, and you can tell by the looking underneath the hubs. Whenever there's a question about color for a particular red line, see if you can get the wheel off and look underneath the hub there. When I call the hub, I mean just under the wheel, and on that metal, and that looks like to be painted, from my perspective here, like a light green. That's what it looks like underneath the hubs there. So then what happens over time is it begins I don't know, I hate to use that phraseology, but transition color This looks more green now, doesn't it? Does that look like to you? Are you seeing any? Are you seeing any Graqua in this guy at all in the Boss Hoss? What are your thoughts on that? And you know, do you like these red lines? These are just something that are double, triple, quadruples from this particular collector. Believe it or not, that this serious redline fanatic, just like you and me, are, you know, just paring down on, you know, some of the things that, now there's a scratch mark on here. Little Timmy was busy, that's a T on top of there. He was busy with, or she, with their short order, making sure that they got the order correct. So look at the color, antifreeze, and that like yellowish, if you will, or yeah, it looks like yellow on that short order. And the custom Corvette, and cool. Here's an open wheel. Shelby, you know, the little bit of wear on the roll bar. Aqua, decent, you know, fun. These are enjoyable little gems. One of the reasons I say that, especially when you get, you know, really nice shoes on them, that they can be harvested perhaps for other purposes or to show off. This is not a too bad looking Shelby though, so we'll put him right there. So there's True Aqua. Here's Graqua, right? True Aqua, light green turning to a shade of light green and aqua, and then that Boss Hoss question I was asking about. Just a couple more for you here. Thanks for hanging in there. The rest of there's more in the box. I'll get to that on another video. But we had some caddies yesterday on Saturday. I ran a late evening. Started at 9 o'clock Central last night here on the studio with a round, if you will, of, you know, kind of like value. We did an orange caddy. The orange caddy really blew my socks off because of how beautiful it was. And so this is a red. We also had a U.S. red yesterday and a U.S. aqua that we ran, and they were purchased last night by one of our guests. So pleased for y'all to pick up. Oh, look at this. Here's another Graqua. It's a Mighty Maverick, missing the wing, of course. It's got the posts in the glass. This is all one piece inside there. That's why sometimes you'll find, you know, really difficulty with the complete pieces. Before I started in my Redline, you know, remembering childhood stuff and doing what I'm doing today, is I used to restore Redlines, Matchbox, Lesney, etc., Dinky. I learned how the engineering was done in the car. So as an example, this Mighty Maverick, that interior plastic piece all the way through, including coming out of the back, which it's supposed to, which is the plastic that came up, right? It went into those two holes right there. And then it was a two-piece fin, if you will, the wing in the back, the stronger part, and then the real floppy one in the back. Those, of course, are missing in action. But take a look at the color. Wow, let's do this. Look at this. I'm going to put that other one back up again. This is too cool to not look at again. Let's move these out of the way. Look at this Graqua action going on, guys. Isn't that just fabo? Isn't that fabulous? Wow. And that purple coupe, I'm going to let that purple coupe sit there for a little bit because that is so dang beautiful to look at, isn't it? They're all shaking your heads, yes. Oh, and a copper Eldo. Thank you, Mr. Collector. I love copper. So do our collectors. And so 2 Eldos, a Hong Kong red and a Hong Kong copper. Are you kidding me? Put these 2 amigos together. Well done. Wow. Someone's on the ball, man. Yeah. What's a magenta? Another Maverick missing its wing. It's a little sad, but you know, because the wing isn't present doesn't mean that it's a dog. You know, especially Mighty Mavs in these types of colors and finishes. The thing about this finish is how shiny it is. Now, I'm not just talking about this magenta U.S. Maverick, but you know, the shine, if you will, versus Hong Kong. And that's why these are still coveted, even though obviously we just talked about all this, but the wing, you know, etc., is that you still have the opportunity to look at some clean magenta in your Redline collection. I clean up the cars every single time before you get them. That's part of our service here at Redline Collectibles. Oops. And this is the last car, guys. This is it. Sorry to keep you so long. But what did we leave for the very end, you ask? Well, if you said some sort of spoiler, you are absolutely 100 correct. What a way to end, huh? Beautiful number 3, rocker panel stripe in place. Look at that Hong Kong small in the front. Could be U.S. large in the back. Those are bearing wheels, so they're easy to replace. Grill is looking spanky nice. Beautiful engine bay. Gorgeous, gorgeous show glasses, clean interior. Guys like the dark brown or dark champagne. Major League. Here's a Hong Kong. That's Hong Kong. So, could be a tailpipe, good. Or tail paint. Hello, yep, there. Wow, sharp, man. This is a nice car. That's a cool shade of green. Look at these greens. Put those like that. Anyway, thank you for joining us here at Redline Collectibles. And the upcoming auction, I've got more and more to share with you. The box is yet to be completely opened up. I'll do phase 2 or video number 2. Be sure to join us on our upcoming journeys every Tuesday on Facebook site called Studio-Redline. And thank you for supporting the channel. Bye, everybody. See you soon.